Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of May 19th, and we have a change of the season this week. The sun is going to be moving out of Taurus into Gemini, shifting the season and a little bit of the vibes for us. But we are really in a week of adjustment because just within the last 24 hours, we've had a lot of personal planets. Well, all the personal planets, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, moved into new signs. So it's a little bit of a time to adjust to these new foundations, to these new focuses, to the new areas of life that are going to be stimulated by these planets moving into these new signs. So yeah, let's just kind of back up a little bit because just within, like I said, the past 24, 48 hours, Mercury moved into Gemini, the home sign of Mercury. So this really powers up our communication skills. This powers up our mind. This gets things moving a little bit quicker. Gemini is an air sign. So we're going to be feeling this shift this week with the sun moving into Gemini even more. Mercury got there first because, just last week, Mercury did have the conjunction with the sun, and we were brought into some new information. There was some type of messaging that was sent our way. The sun, it's us. It's where our identity is sitting. It's where our focus is. And so when we have a planet conjunct with the sun, it can be a very personal experience. And Mercury is the planet of communication and of messaging. And so that is absolutely, what we're coming off of in terms of moving into a faster moving time. And it's just going to get more exciting when the sun gets to Gemini, conjuncts with Uranus this week also. So a little pickup in the speed of things with Mercury moving into Gemini and setting the stage for the sun to move there this week. And also Mercury had to make that conjunction with Uranus too. So it was like two big conjunctions for the planet of communication and of messaging. And then also Mars, the planet of our physical body. This is the god of war. Mars, our warrior spirit, the action that we take in life to go and get the things we're passionate about. Mars has moved out of his home sign of Aries, where he was powered up and charging forward and creating all of this new stimuli and taking action on things. And Mars moving out of Aries into Taurus really grounds the body a bit. It grounds things because Taurus is an earth sign. And Taurus is a very slow moving type of energy. So we see that movement from Aries, a very quick moving fire sign, to Taurus, and it slows down our physical body. So we could feel like slowing things down a bit, taking a little more time doing things. Taurus is all about gathering resources also. So we could see just a need to gather up and kind of go through our material possessions, sort of taking stock in a way of what we have right here in our physical world. And Mars moving into Taurus Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is Mars' counterpart. And so he has gotten into his cosmic lover's sign here and has really been able to reach into the pleasurable side of life. And this is a nice place for our physical body to land after so much newness in Aries, because Aries is a hot ticket right now. And Neptune, Saturn, both there doing a ton of work. starting new beginnings, initiating, giving us the feeling of wanting to initiate more things in our life and step up and be a leader and take action and not be afraid, be confident and have some courage. So, our physical body, we might feel like slowing things down a bit, taking stock, sort of realizing, where we're at a little bit more. And then Venus, the other personal planet, Venus is the planet of our heart and of love and money. And Venus has moved into Cancer. And so Cancer is the sign of the home and of the family and of more of a private life, really. Cancer, it likes to keep things more in their immediate environment, let's just say. And because that is a safe and secure place, and Cancer likes to feel safe and secure. So now we've got the masculine Mars moved into Taurus, which is like a soft feminine sign. And then we've got Venus, the feminine counterpart, in Cancer now in this other really intimate, also very feminine, softer type of energy. So adjusting to this, moving out of the fire air into earth and water, and realizing that things act a little bit differently when you're in these different environments and working with these different elements. Now, in terms of relationships, see, because we're talking Mars and Venus, you can't talk about Mars and Venus without talking about relationships. They're not called the cosmic lovers for nothing. And so that's how we start this week. Is we have Venus and Mars, the cosmic lovers, in a sextile with each other, and this is 2 signs apart. They've just moved. They've basically ushered each other into these new signs in this sextile aspect, which is really supportive. It's really harmonious. It's really nice and easy. And so I don't think we're going to have a tough time adjusting. I think it's even a little harder to adjust when you move from the feminine signs to the masculine signs, because you're moving slower, you're softer, and then kind of get that abrupt thing. But we can feel maybe like things have really slowed down, maybe a little boredom even, like, hey, where did all the action go? But don't lose hope, because we have more Gemini energy coming in this week, and it is going to pick up the pace a little bit. So the cosmic lovers in a really nice place. So relationships, having an easy time right now, have those conversations, put yourself in those situations where that a little bit of this ease and this harmonious energy within relationships is going to help you. That's how we want to use these cosmic energies, knowing that this is a really nice time in relationships and to just get things worked out for now. On the 20th of May, the moon is going to move into Leo. We've had the moon in Cancer, that really soft, intimate, need for safety and security, and moving into a fire sign out of that water sign of Cancer. So here we get that more abrupt, right? We're going to pick up the pace. When the moon moves into a fire sign, we definitely know that we're going to feel the spark a little bit more. And Leo is a sign of playfulness and of children and that childlike spirit. Leo is also a sign that's about the heart. It's the lion. It's the courageous lion, and the heart space. Your actual heart space is ran by the sign of Leo. So when the moon is moving through Leo on Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday, we could be feeling more passionate. We're going to be doing things more from our heart space. So really breathing into the heart. I've learned of this type of breathing you can do that's in and out of the heart. So if you want to connect with this a little bit more, you want to find these passionate areas, you want to use this Leo energy to tap into that central unit of yours in your chest. Breathe in and out of that heart. I mean, pretend that your heart is a lung and just inflate it and deflate it, inflate it and deflate it. And it just feels so good. And that is going to connect you just a little bit deeper with your heart space so you can work with this Leo moon even more. See, Leo's in a trine to Aries. So you're going to feel that push, that spark, that initiative that Aries wants to bring. And this could be a big time of the week where we take some steps forward with the Leo moon. And also on the 20th is when the sun moves into Gemini. So we get a shift of season. We move out of the earth sign of Taurus, where we've gotten kind of comfortable. Taurus is a sign ran by Venus. So it's easy to get comfortable there. I mean, Venus just provides all the good things, like the soft blankets, the delicious food, and just the right amount of niceness that you like. Venus and the space of Taurus is a really easy place to get comfortable. So just know that it's always an adjustment when we move out of Taurus into Gemini. And that's the season we're in right now. We're in this time period where we've seen Mercury move into Gemini, we've seen Uranus move into Gemini, and now the sun joining the party. And Gemini's the sign of communication. It's the third sign of the zodiac. And if you look at it, like Aries is the little conception. It's like the infant, and then Taurus is you're raising that infant up and it's like a little tiny toddler. And then Gemini is the next step. It's where they start talking and start to communicate more and start to understand things with their mind a little bit more. See, because that's interesting, right? The zodiac, it truly is. It's a 12-step program to life, just in general. You start out in Aries as the little infant, and then you graduate as the mature mystic in Pisces. So as the sun moves into Gemini, we focus on communication. There's a lot of talking involved because it's an air sign. So we push a lot of air out. And it's even more because Gemini is the sign of the twins, and it's the sign of siblings, brothers, sisters. Maybe that's, blood brothers and sisters or your chosen brothers and sisters, but just like those people in life who we team up with and that are our colleagues, kind of in our same area. And Gemini is also the sign of soulmates. And so you can see how this is all about the double. It's about doubling things down. And so you can get double the amount of communication, double the amount of talking and thinking in Gemini. And, Gemini doesn't really go that deep. That's the saving grace to all of the quick moving Gemini energy, is that they like to keep things more superficial. It's not about taking things into a very, very deep realm and understanding and asking tough questions. It's about staying on the surface of things a little bit more and just asking enough questions to collect the data that you need. And we're always collecting data and logging information when we have a lot of Gemini energy. So this is a time to gather knowledge, to gather the data. We're not necessarily about to think real deeply on it or heavily. We're going to jump around a lot to different topics. And, I learned that about that. Okay, I'm going to log that under that category and that over there. And it's later on when we actually are going to mull through those data points and put things together. So just right now, know that it's about just gathering the data. You don't necessarily have to do anything with it right now, but we're logging it. We're putting it all into the Excel spreadsheet in our brain to do something with later. So once the sun moves in into Gemini. It's going to come into that conjunction with Uranus. And this could be a wow moment of the week. And this is going to happen on Friday here on the Pacific West Coast anyways, where I give my reports from. If you listen in from another place, you'll have to do some math. But this is going to be, I think, a very surprising week. I think we're going to have some type of data dropped on us that's going to be surprising because Uranus is the planet of surprise, awakening, and change. And it's also about the future. And so when we have Uranus aspected, like when the sun makes a conjunction here, it's going to have a permanent effect on us. And it's going to propel us into a more benevolent future. So whatever takes place this week, whatever radical uprising, awakening happens, whatever comes through this weekend surprises you, it's going to be for the most benevolent outcome. And that doesn't always seem like that at the start. Sometimes we can be a little afraid of what we get surprised with, right? But just know that the universe has your most benevolent outcome in mind. So it will always play out well. And the moon moves into Virgo on Friday. And so Virgo's another earth sign. It's going to ground us a little bit more. That's going to be really nice as for these, for all this Uranus and Gemini energy. We're going to get some grounding moon in. Virgo likes to use the discernment a little bit more and say, that's worth keeping, and that's probably, we should let that go. South Node is in Virgo right now, so Virgo is not afraid to purge and detox and let things go right now. In fact, it's a really, really positive, supported thing to do right now. Purge, detox, clean, get rid of all the stuff that is in your way right now because you just don't need it. A couple of quiet days over the weekend, so we could just see more of this Uranus surprising, awakening, radical energy play out over the weekend. And then the moon moves into Libra on the 25th, and that is another air sign, so it kind of like speed things up a little bit more. Libra is another sign about relationships. So with all this Gemini energy, a little bit of Libra moon, we could be really communicating about relationships, having conversations, thinking of more ideas, gathering data points. So yeah, very, very interesting shift of the season right now. And so it's a good time to open up the windows and let things float around a little bit in the Gemini air. Let things surprise you. You know, it could turn out to be really fun. And if we can lean into this Cancer, Taurus, more feminine energies, since these personal planets are here, be more receptive, you know, surrender a little bit more and have fun with it and let life surprise you. So I hope that this was helpful for you, and I will be talking to you again soon. I appreciate you being tuned in here to the Cosmic Community Astrology with your Galactic Ambassador, Stacey Dredd. You take good care. Talk soon. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.